Yeah. I'm
I
getting.
can tell because I just got a notification for you. It just gave me a notification that says you're broadcasting live.
Yeah.
I've subscribed to your YouTube channel. Told ya. Stacy Whale is live 22 seconds ago.
Yep. Well, gotta catch these cheats. Gotta catch these cheaters. Oh, did he leave? Hello, there he goes. Why is my report feature disabled? I haven't reported anyone.
Did you report anyone in the previous lobby you're in?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you have to wait 5 minutes. No matter what lobby you join, you have to wait 5 minutes so you can report someone again.
That's right. I'll get him and I'll name and shame him.
Oh, Girl Gamer's in here.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that I hit those. Oh.
Yeah. He's in God mode. So if anybody's got access to Molotov cocktails, just pepper the fucker with Molotov cocktails, and it will take him out of his cheat. And
well, before I do that, I'm gonna quickly take on this purple MC real quick.
Yeah, this guy's right out in the open, by the way. You know, right out in the open, and he's just got an orbital.
You have that Marcus.
Why do you need to cheat? It's like...
wait, what fast crew is he in? If he's in the fast crew that I think he is,
He's in the open, he's right out on the street.
If he's in the fast crew I think he's in, my friend's crew leader and my other friend's vice president.
Well, I'm just going to let him know that I've caught him on broadcast cheating.
Oh, you fucking little bitch. I was AFK, you pussy bastard.
Oh, totally, mate, totally. That's the filth that they do.
I was AFK trying to fucking send a message on PlayStation.
Yeah, no, go to a safe spot. Go to a safe spot. Go to a safe spot.
I don't even want to go to a safe spot. I'm gonna fucking show this cunt what the fuck my missile can do up his asshole.
No, I don't want a missile up my asshole.
Well, too bad. That's what you get.
No, I don't want a missile up my asshole.
Too bad. You've been a naughty, naughty boy.
Well, for some reason, he's disabled my report function.
Fuck you, bitch. Suck on that, motherfucker. Well, if you want to, I can. Who the fuck is in the jet?
Yeah, report. I hit those.
Give me 1 second, and I can do that for you. What would you like me to report him for?
God mode. So go other and go God mode.
Other God mode.
Oh, they just fucking used it. Oh. Hey, Fierce.
Bye, Fierce.
Hey, Fierce. Nice talking to you. Well, these guys. Remember the guy that you said that has a dunce cap?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, baby. Do you wanna lick me?
Oh, you fucking weirdo. No,
Yeah.
I will spoon
What
you.
the fuck?
I will fucking spoon you.
I just sit here on orbital and I make everybody aware.
Can you please overcome? It's mad.
I'm enjoying orbitaling this God mode character, mate. Because, you know.
Can someone get me into a laser, please, so I can shoot this guy over his laser? is rank 110, but if the kids, I will get him out of my the kid's going up and up and up, like a little pansy. And me don't like that. Oh, hello, Mr. Dunscap. Cap. You wanna go against me, do you? Come here, princess. I'll show you off your Mark 2. Mr. Dunscap wants to go up against me in a Mark 2.
Well,
Hello, Mr.
I'm
Dunscap.
gonna strike team
Got
him
Mark 2.
and just go to show.
Oh, Mr. Dunscap chose the easy way out because he
Oh,
knew I was gonna kill him.
they do.
Aw.
Bad sports, mate. That's what they do in bad sport.
Oh, go on, go passive mode. Go on, sweetie. You know you want to. Go on. Yeah, kill yourself. Wannabe. Oh, hi, I hit those. There you go.
Oh, I go fine.
You can't kill me, bitch. Guess that might take slap. Kill yourself. Who the fuck? That motherfucker's tried passive pop me.
Yeah.
He fucking failed. Because he's a fucking wanker.
Just a passive bitch.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
What was I thinking? Oh, guess who tried passive pop me? I hit those crew member from the fast crew. That's adorable, mate, because guess what? As soon as I get back on my Mark 2, press it. Don't you? Fuck. You shoot me on your Mark 2. Yeah, of course you'd fucking do that while you're in God mode, you little bitch.
The yellow one, just make sure you don't get too close because there's no killing him unless you've got Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, legit shit, like, go off his Mark 2, press it.
So the strike team's on him. So let's see how much damage that the strike team can do. Because he doesn't die. So if he doesn't die, I can sit here on his silly little thing and just show all his exploits and his cheats. So if anybody's got a report handy, report that I hit those as God mode exploit. And he's jumping on his bike. Like, this guy's wide open in the street, and you really don't want to engage him because it's like,
of course,
he's in God mode.
it is coming to go on. Let's go on this one. Give me a fucking dance.
He's a bad sport, mate. So, you know, he doesn't deserve to be in a lobby. Yeah, I'm surprised he doesn't have his silly dump cap on yet.
He does.
He does? Has he glitched it off?
No, he has the dunce cap on right now.
Oh. He must be borderline going bad sport, so gotta report him again.
Who do you think you are trying to run at me? Oh yeah. Come here, Mr. Evil. Let me quickly shoot you in the head. You throw grenades at me? You're a time. Aw, kill yourself, you wanna be.
What, the guy in God mode?
No, the guy that killed himself, like evil. He's too scared for me to get 1-0. He's too scared for me to get my kill back. Come on, Mr. Buddy. You know you're gonna get your KD dropped. Don't tell me this cunt's in goal mode too.
Yeah, they are.
No, he's not. He's dead.
Well, I know for a fact that that fucking asshole's in God mode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear those. He's garbage. I just don't understand what the fuck's the point of being in God mode. Like, what the fuck? What's the point of being in God mode?
It's just so that it can feel important.
If anything, he's fucking making himself embarrassed.
Well, not just that, he's running the risk of losing his thing.
Oh, bitch boy went passive mode. Well, I'm quickly gonna go passive and text this guy saying trash. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send little I hit those a message saying have fun with your account being suspended. Aw, it's just a mark to a person. Slut. I was getting fine, cool. Sounds sexy. I hit those texts saying report me, haha. I just texted back saying I already have, stupid.
Yeah, well, I've got video footage of his breach of his terms and conditions, and he's in breach of a contract.
Well, he just texted me saying report me, haha. I'm still texting saying I already have, stupid.
Oh, don't be abusive.
Yeah.
Hey, abusive.
Fork him and spoon him.
I got a god mode here if you're good with those Molotovs.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, chucking fire at him will get him. If you got the water cannon, it does, but it takes longer. Now he's in a jet, so well, get him out of that jet. And if you can see, I've got the frozen plus 750. I have your sister. Okay, mate. You got to realise. No, you got to realise I have your sister. Well, you can't really say stuff like that. So let's get you out of that jet, and it ain't gonna cost me. This is why I use the orbital cannon. Not because I like to spend the money.
Yeah, that jet down.
Yeah, well, that jet's going down. Bye bye, jet. You know, and look at that. How did I miss my target? Oh, I missed my target. Well, I didn't miss my target. I hit my fucking target square. Now, little Mr. Cheaty Boy here is going to get kind of fed up that every vehicle he's in gets destroyed. So we just wait until he gets into another vehicle, and he's going to get really pissed off that he can't do anything.
Yeah, because you're going to destroy every vehicle.
Every time he gets in a vehicle, I will destroy the vehicle.
Aww, guess what? Players are voting for you being moved from session behaviour. Kids.
Well, you know, I'm getting good sports. So, you know, even though his vehicles. Yeah, well, get on another vehicle. You
You
know.
wanna vote to kick me, you little cunt? No, you wanna vote to kick me? I'll slap you.
Well, just stay on that report system on that dude in the god mode. Because he's in breach of his terms and conditions.
Aww. Look at that, I hear those bringing in another triad. Laxation from the dead crew. That's
Yeah, well, get in another vehicle, mate. Get in another vehicle. As long as you're grounded, you're gonna get kind of pissed off that you can't kill anyone.
Let's see if I can report him again. Yes, I can. I can report
Yeah,
him.
well, again, report him for using the god mode exploit.
And report. Second report in.
Well, I've got confirmed footage of him in breach of his terms and conditions. And the strike team can't kill him. Now, why can't the strike team kill him?
That's very interesting. Why can't they kill him?
Yeah. You know, they're sitting there peppering the shit out of him.
You might have another god mode person. Grey CEO. Grey CEO Lee is potentially going to do the CEO God mode glitch. Possible another God mode guy.
Well, if you can, jump on that orbital cannon just to confirm. Because it's not confirmed until you drop an orbital cannon on them.
No, he's in his facility. He's in his CEO office at the moment.
Yeah.
He's going to do the CEO God mode glitch. What the plus?
I'm losing my good sport because of the amount of vehicles I'm destroying, but again, it doesn't really matter. I just build my good sport back up.
Twitch, why are you in this lobby, you bum?
My bum. My bum got missile.
What?
We got taken out.
I've been the one that seems such a strange.
Hey, Fish, you joining the lobby?
Yep.
Can you fix your mic, Fierce? It's really, really bad.
Shit.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I hit those as gone goes. Possible fucking almost glitches.
That's alright. Just gonna report them.
There is actually another way to get mad at God mode if you got a Jolly tank.
No, it don't work.
It does me.
Only fire will work against them.
Oh.
Yeah. Fire damage and water damage. Oh, players are voting to me to be kicked. Why is that? Because I've outed you?
Well, how about this, Stacey? You commend me, I'll commend you.
Thanking you, sir.
Yep, they are kicking me.
Yeah.
The rude bastards.
That's okay.
Commend.
Yeah, I got the benzene, Mom. Fucking benzene.
So...
Hey, who else? Fish the bum bum.
All communications are being monitored.
Fish you there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I'm
his mic's all fucking... if you unplug it and plug it back in.
That might work.
Yeah, it
You
works.
didn't hear me, Fitz. Could you do a possible Vulcan or two for me so I can get a CEO office?
Yeah, sure.
Wait.
Okay, so we go back to the
I
glitcher.
would ask for 4 so I can get a hangar on that, but that's too much.
Yeah.
Hey, Fizz, if you want to chuck a report, to I hit those away, that'd be much better.
What's his name?
I hit those. Yellow CEO. Report him for other.
I hit
Those.
I hit those. Yep, yellow
Those.
CEO.
Yeah.
He's in gold
Right.
mode.
He's in God mode.
Okay.
Confirmed God mode.
Yeah, okay.
I've already reported him
295.
twice.
Right.
Guide, have you reported him?
One.
Guiding. Anxiety, you bum.
Bung hole.
Bunghole!
In the bunghole.
No, you're getting this out up your bunghole!
Make sure you don't open it then.
Hey, Stacey.
Yeah, bro.
How many times a year have you reported those?
I've reported them twice now. I'm going to report them again. And I'm going.
3 times for you, 2 for me, so that's 5. And if Fizz hit reports in, that's 6.
Yeah, just make sure you're doing it under other, so that the moderator can check that type of behaviour. If you just do it generically, yeah, now the generic report is computer generated, so the computer or the program checks for the cheating. Report them for the God mode glitch.
Oh, he can't even hit me. I'm in my bloody armored intelligent and he still can't blow it up. What dick?
Can I get you to turn your mic down a little bit, please, Fierce?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's got.
If they wanna, give me a second, please. I wanna come give you a helping hand.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
give him wide berth. If he's not getting the kills, he's gonna get
Yeah.
fed up.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll sub both of them out too.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for him to get in this jet. It doesn't cost me.
Yeah, well, hang on, no, reality, good.
Yeah, well, he's in the jet now, so make sure you're undercover.
Oh, look, he's in the lobby. Abusive. How cute.
Yeah, no, Abusive's alright. His crew's just trash, mate, and it's sad that he's sort of like part of that griefing crowd.
Now, who is this man to present
Nice. You know, I like to know how, you know, does he die when he even goes splat?
I know, slut.
Look, he just fell without a parachute. He landed and fell without a parachute and survived.
Hey, Abusive, if you're listening to Stacey's broadcast, come join the party.
Yeah, I got my on that player.
Oh, someone's doing Steal the Diamonds. Don't mind if I do. Do you think it'd be rude of Stacey to steal the diamonds?
There's no point where you've got this prick in here. He's just gonna destroy your stuff. Yeah, in a clean lobby, yes, but in a free roam lobby full of bad sports, it's like there's generally no point. You know, they think it's funny to destroy people's fun, you know?
You want me to find a lobby?
No, pretty much you gotta preoccupy them. So if they're occupied, you know, and you're reporting them, well, you're taking away their ability to grief.
Yeah, well that bugger I just reports killed me 3 times.
Well, I'm being voted to kick by him just because the simple fact is he knows that I've got the evidence against him. Well, no, I'm just playing the video game. Thank you, Abusive.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I just stole the diamonds. And guess what? I just delivered the diamonds.
Shit. Well, that's the thing that upsets him, is that people aren't running and hiding.
Sorry, pretty boys, I had to steal your diamonds. It's
Yeah.
part of my duty.
Yeah.
My duty is slapping you in the head. Now, Mr. Midget, if you do not mind, please stay still for 1 second.
Thank you, Abusive.
Wait, Squirtle just texted me saying nice. You're welcome. Kid.
Be upset with you that you're communicating with me?
Wait, how are you talking abusive?
Broadcast. Through broadcast, yeah. But yeah, few of his friends won't like it.
Squirts are a 10 guys friendly. Maybe. Yeah, I think he's a friendly, so he's not trying to kill me. Wait, give that a second. Give that 1 second.
Yeah, I've reported and kicked him.
Yeah, well, just stay clear of him. Don't give him satisfaction.
I'm trying to, but he's always coming at me, whacking me.
Okay, do you have a fast travel option?
I'll try.
Oh.
Ah,
Here, I'll send you a facility invite so he can't Can't sit there picking you off.
Oh, I am CEO.
Yeah, that's alright. I can still send it to you. Here, buddy.
Yeah.
Take that fast option.
Yeah, okay.
Oh crap! Guess what, boys? I'm a dodgy player. I'm gonna go passive mode.
How are you a dodgy player?
I don't know.
Okay. You've got.
Are you?
Okay.
Go back to click at what meeting?
Do you think abuse is listening to your broadcast?
No, abuse is alright. It's just
No,
the.
so do you think he's listening
Are
to your
you?
broadcast?
Yeah.
Shit.
He's just associated with the wrong people. And you know, just because you're associated with the wrong people, it doesn't make you guilty to association.
No, what I'm saying is abusive listening to your broadcast right now.
I think so. I did send him party.
Abusive, if you're listening to broadcast, can you please commend me? Dodgy player. I don't want to go bad sport.
Well, I don't know how you're a dodgy player. You've got to be controlling your mental state. How high is your mental state?
Maniac.
Well, you fucking hell, mate. You need to be in CEO. I've told you, it's like you can't engage these griefers, and not be in a CEO. Because you're just going to end up with in a bad sport if you continue. And that's what happened to Ihoon, you know, she got sucked into it. Now, I've just got to be careful on how many bikes I destroy. Like, the jets, I can destroy as many as I want. But those bikes, you know, they're coming out
Just went into my facility to get work network.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for Vicious to start his bullshit now.
So you reckon being an MC while doing this, while a dodgy player?
Always make sure you are in an MC and you are in a CEO. Now, what you want to be doing is doing cooperative play. So anything that you are cooperating with another player is going to lower that heat.
Well, I'm in this MC and I was destroy someone's personal vehicle.
That's fine, because it's nulled and voided because you are in CEO. You've just got to make sure that that person is not a white dot. If they're a white dot, it accumulates on you. If they're a red dot, it does not accumulate on you.
Well, I use all everyone will use in the same session.
Yes. Just be aware there's God mode in here.
Oh god. Wait, God mode. Oh, is that thing, brother?
No, natural person in natural god mode.
Yeah.
Oh. Your brother who's got a name as God mode, so I thought it was him.
Yeah, see, you know, abuse is clean airs, mate. Clean airs. You know, that's what you want to be, clean. You don't want to be all fucking bullshit red. And this bastard, I don't know how he's keeping a clean mental state. He's got to be modded somehow.
He has to be, because he's legit killed me like 3 times already. His mental state should be at least unstable.
Mind you, he's in a CEO, so he's using that and exploiting it.
I want to text him back saying trash. Anyone else in dodgy play besides me?
You know what, just keep those strike teams on them. Fierce, you really need to stay away from them, bro.
I
I
think,
mean, like,
I think
I'm not
Pink,
on the beach.
Okay, well, you see him
I
coming, get out of there.
I think,
I mean,
I
I
hit
got food.
those, I think I hit those and Pink MC guys all work together. So I hit those had opportunity to kill Pink every single time.
Well, you got a passive right next to the god mode guy.
That's me.
Mm. Well, that's confirmed griefing right there.
That's because I'm a local player.
Well, sitting in passive's not going to help you. What's going to help you is being an CEO. And it's going to cool it down. That's why you'll always see me in a CEO and I don't go passive. Because when you go to passive, what you're doing is you're stopping the cooldown. And you're resetting it. That's why you'll see him in a CEO or an MC.
Who the fuck's supposed to do that? Oh, I have a bounty on my head. Stacy, I got a bounty on my head.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Just hold it.
Put a bounty on me.
Who did?
I hit those, put a bounty on me.
Yeah.
I'm not accused.
What you want to do is let it cool down.
I'm flying away from you.
Yeah, well, just make sure you don't let him collect it, because that's where he gets his satisfaction from, is just being griefing the whole time.
Did you just say I got killed?
I haven't seen it, but yeah, if he's modding, I don't see why he can't.
I'm a mother.
Yeah. Well, just remember, I'm broadcasting, so don't say shit like that.
Yeah, like, freaking it off.
Like, I hit those, he's so cool. He's always hit killing me.
Well, he just drove straight into a building, and technically, he should be dead.
Something wrong with my right hand, so that head button to the left hand.
Hey Stacey, I hit those way too good in this game. There's no possible way you can kill him. He's just way too good.
No, he's not good at all. He's in God mode, and you need to use fire or water. Any fire damage or water damage will actually get a kill on him.
What's his name?
I hit those.
Well, I'm not firing him. He's running him. I'm gonna do that.
He's confirmed. He's confirmed in breach. Yeah, he thinks it's funny just going around destroying people's fun.
This, you gonna send me that opt-in invite?
You can hold over again.
What the fuck is this on the Yahoo, guys?
Yeah, he's the one as well.
What the hell's nowhere near everything
Whoa.
that gets fucking funny.
Well, he's exploiting the CEO function to stop him from getting in a high mental state.
What's he on? Dude, it's really laggy, bro.
It realizes the majority of us to kick him. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us to kick him.
Oh, are we
He
cooking?
can be out of this session.
Okay, well, what you need to do is someone orbital cannon them for me so I can get the actual visual proof because I've got the overhead proof. Well, it's not going to cost you anything.
How are you? Oh, not very cool, no? Young guy.
Yeah, your mic's really loud, buddy.
Yeah, can someone orbital cannon those two? Fish, she might have been a fuckhead.
Oh no, it's not, it's just a bit loud.
I got my good sport. Fuck, I was a bit worried that I lost that.
We'll just vote to kick I hit those, because if he leaves his lobby right, rejoin on him again, he won't be able to do God mode. Because he's been recorded so many times.
Oh,
And
true
I'm
that.
shooting through the CDR as well.
Okay, everybody vote to kick him, because he's going to have to do that glitch in his new lobby. Like, while he stays in this lobby, he remains in that mode. If he has to go to a new lobby, it knocks him out.
Yep, and plus he's already been ready to get kicked before we even joined, so
I can't do that.
then we actually kick him.
Like,
Can you please fix it, Mike? It's so
It's
frustrating.
really bad, mate. It's really bad.
No,
It's
like, it's because he's lagging.
oh, he's lagging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not his mic, it's just.
Oh, here we go. We got another fucking psycho cunt.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Please, you might need to reset your internet or go into your internet
The,
settings to your
Stacy, we
very
got
loud
another
device.
guy in that psych. Oh, wow. Look at that. He's on the XXX crew. It was KD
Hey,
of
boys,
minus
are you
9416.42.
Yeah, you heard me speaking.
Hey, Stacy.
That's really bad.
Yeah, there's a guy in here with a modded account with a minus KD.
Well, he does have a high.
Controller. I can't go inputting it right place and I can't got saturated with toothpaste. And
If you need to reset your internet there, you're very laggy.
Okay, the dockers are not doing too bad. Now she's quite filthy.
Yeah, have you left
No,
yet?
what?
This God mode?
Taster! What? Yeah. That's what's going to happen. What do you want
It's
to
gonna be absolute dog with me, but I don't care. So I'm about to drop this to KD.
yo,
Wait, what? Oh, wow. Guess what? Ray MC guys also in God mode.
That's right. Pick them off at one at a time.
I need explosive rounds. I don't have any
Explosive round ain't going to work against a God mode. The only thing that will work against God mode is fire damage. So explosive, yeah,
Be moved from session.
explosive damage is not going to work.
Well, I'm gonna be in the CEO, so I'm saying for now.
Yeah, well, these bad sports need to be kept out of these lobbies, mate. They don't belong here.
Well, fucking the Grey CEO guys in God mode, so watch out for that.
Yeah, there's three of them that are doing it. But again, you can only focus on one at a time.
How are they so bad that I have to use God mode just so they
No, let me feel like that.
Well, he's on his bike now, so if somebody orbitals him, it's like, well, right there, you know, you've got, and whoever's engaging him on the bike, it's just foolish, because you're not going to do anything. Yeah, well, yeah, nothing is going to happen. You know, you cannot damage him unless you've got Molotov cocktails, and this is why he doesn't sit still.
Oh, he can try and kill us, but he ain't going to.
Well, if someone's got an orbital cannon, they need to drop it now while I've got visual on him.
Okay, John Rich or Twitch, do you have an orbital cannon?
It's not going to cost you anything. It's going to be an instant refund.
Hey, Twitch, do you have an orbital cannon?
Yeah, but who am I getting on?
See here, I hit those.
Quick. You got to be quick because I'm on a visual on him at the moment.
What's he doing? Where's he at?
Just drop it on him, mate, while I'm visually got him. Yeah, well, just make sure you don't get too close to that guy in gold mine.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah, I'll join that in a second first. I need some people
Yeah.
that kills.
Yeah.
Hey, first, do you reckon you guys could actually run the
Sure.
Yeah, but you can't do them in a row. You can't do them in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't go in or I think the most you can do is about 3.
And then you'll end up in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Do 2 and then 2.
Well, you'll end up in a bad spot. I'm telling you now, they've patched it.
What about doing 2 and 2?
You can't do any in a row. You must have... You've got to have that break in between. Even if it's a different type of heist. If it's a heist setup, it doesn't matter. But you cannot do 2 in a row. You do 2 in a row, they've patched it.
Well, guess what's the money next week, boys?
Yeah, exactly. But you just can't do them 2 in a row. You've got to do them back to back.
Yeah, well, Stacey, I can't use my fucking old. Won't let me for some reason.
Well, how about this first, right? After every bogged in, we'll do a headhunt.
Right.
That gives us a 20-minute cooldown.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Wait, who's in my
That's
facility?
my fucking
But
facility.
don't start up just yet first, because I'm quickly take all my cans out.
Yeah,
Just
are
need
you
to
sure, bro?
Look at the colour. Look at the colour of my
Just make
facility.
sure it's on the right level.
You're in a
Yeah.
glitched lobby. You're in a glitched
I'm-
lobby. Because you are in a glitched lobby, it's fucking up everything.
Yeah, it's on the right level.
I wonder. Oh, so now I can all.
Okay, well, hang on, wait until I get that strike team on them.
Oh no, I see yours because I'm in your facility for some
Well,
reason.
exit the facility, go into your facility, because you are in my facility, because you are in a glitched lobby. This lobby is glitched. Nothing's going to work correctly or how it's been designed to work. It is broken.
Yeah, because I thought it was my facility because like same color and everything.
Yeah, well, it's broken. It's pretty much broken, mate. So let me know when you're in your facility so I can drop the strike team on this guy.
It's actually really far.
Oh, it's a joke. It's literally a joke. It's like, why do people feel the need to be malicious and fucking destroy others' fun?
Facility atmosphere at critical. Please replace
And all they care about is just their fucking safety. That's what.
Well, no, what they care about is the intimidation that they put on others. That's what they care about. You know, because why are they texting you abusive messages to intimidate? Yeah, it's a video game. It's meant to be a social thing, not an antisocial thing.
Yeah.
And has he left because he's not coming up as strike?
Oh no, he is. Yeah, he has left. No, he's still here, but he's not a CEO.
Okay, so he's gone passive.
Has he? Don't tell me I'm in your facility again. Yes, I am.
You shouldn't be. Go.
Wait, come out of your.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm in your facility. What the fuck?
We are in a glitched lobby. Nothing is going to work in this glitched lobby. It's broken.
Unless I need to just drive to my facility.
Well, report the guy and we'll go do something else. Because
Yeah, I've reported
there's no point doing anything in this lobby because it's broken.
So yeah, exactly. Well.
You ready, buddy?
Well, he's interfering not in only our gameplay but everybody else's gameplay.
Yeah, and we can't get him out of the session because, well, we could if we.
Well, no, he's
use
modded.
the cannon.
His modded account.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. Wait, so now I spawn up a liter of baby eggs.
Stacey, who do you
What
count
the
these things
fuck?
modded?
No, he's definitely modded. Because he's using God mode and he's like got how many kicks against him, and he hasn't been.
It's not modded, it counts legit.
Well, it can't be
No,
legit
counts.
because he's
modded.
breaching his terms and conditions. So that's not
He's got
legitimate
over-
account
he's
at
got
all.
over 560 mil on him.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
a
modded.
modder. It's not legit. He's a modder, bro. Legit. He's a modder. No way, he's not a modder.
And he's avoiding bad sports somehow.
Guess what? Abusive's in a party with Insane.
Oh, nice. He's out of God mode. He's out of God mode.
Is he actual?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Tell him to get out of
Yeah,
God
you can
mode.
keep Bobby.
No, I'm going to orbital him, but he must be in passive. That's why he's out of God mode, because he's in passive.
No, you can go passive and come back out of passive, still be in God mode. I've
Yeah.
done that before.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be saying that on a broadcast, which is evidence, mate.
I mean, I've never done that before. I've seen people do it.
Yeah, well, don't incriminate yourself.
Oh, look. I hit these.
But yeah, if you're in God mode, you go passive and add passive, you'll still be in it.
Well, we'll just check that theory. Oh,
Let's say patched it.
yeah, no, this is glitched to shit, mate. Yeah, nah, he's still in that fucking God mode. Yeah.
Fucking idiot. So, I'm gonna rush back and see where exactly was he at?
He's in town, but before you do that, let me get a strike team on him, so I've actually got a close-up view of him in breach of his conditions. You know, he can sit there and think I'm hiding in my facility. That's a good thing.
Hey, Chris, can you command me, please?
Hey.
Can you command me? I'll command you.
Yeah. What's that, mate?
Because I'm currently dodging player.
Yeah, well, you need to stop
You-
engaging targets when you're not in an MC or a CEO, because you will end up in a bad spot, and that's why you have dodgy player. And commending someone ain't gonna remove a dodgy player. You just can't. Well, I can't stick a strike team on him yet.
So, Emil, before
No.
look at this.
I need to get that strike team on him so that when you do the drop, like, he's obviously watching my broadcast. But
Oh, well,
still,
I just found,
it's too late. The evidence has been collected.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm just finding a new lobby.
Yeah. Let me know if you come across anybody that is playing the game. Oh, okay. I need you on that orbital, bro. I need you on that orbital.
Oh, fuck.
I need somebody on an orbital.
Is he out?
If you're lucky enough, it will credit you opposed to deduct.
Oh, we got people killing people in this lobby.
Yeah. Well,
It's two shapes.
people have to be held accountable for what they're doing because they're getting away with it, and a lot of it's criminal, and a lot of it is actually unfair, and it's just cyberbullying. Well, not just
Very
pathetic, very, very sad, because a lot of terminal illnesses, you know, are playing these games. So a lot of people with terminal illnesses play the game, you
The
know.
worst thing is, I feel sorry for the low ranks, because like, they're going up against him and he's not dying, it's the whole thing that the light hackers are
Well,
dying.
they're unaware. They are unaware of all these exploits and all these glitches, because they
Some
think
people
that,
legit committed suicide of getting bullied on this game.
yeah, and that's why this game has such a bad reputation, and I'm actually quite tired of the reputation that the game has, because it's not the game. It is not the game at all. It's the type of people that use this game. Exactly, you know, and it's unfair because I enjoy this game.
And people like him are the reason why people stop playing GTA.
Yeah, because there's no point, because you look at PS3. PS3 has closed down their servers because there's just too much of it.
On PS3, this one guy kept on doing God Mode against me that much. My friends just got signals through in the lobby together, and we just got PS4 for like nearly 3.5 months.
Yeah, well...
Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna email Rockstar saying there is a glitch that's going on.
Don't point, I've already done that before.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but
No, mate, it doesn't work. It's a vetting system. All it is a merry-go-round. That's all it is. You're going around and round and round and round in circles. And this is the problem. The problem is that the reporting system is broken, and this type of behaviour is continuing. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to mute you, Fierce, because it's getting to the point where it's actually giving me a headache.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's nothing personal, mate. It's just every now and again there's these noises and these clicks and stuff, and it really hurts. But yeah, you're all right now. It's just every now and again, it's like you just have these.
Yeah, my speaker mic that I got.
Yeah. You don't have.
I'm playing on. Do you have earphones?
Well, anything that is a cell phone mic. So you know when you buy a cell phone.
Yeah, I'll plug in my earphones.
Because those are such high quality. It's amazing how high quality the earbuds are for your cell phone. Okay, is there anybody on that orbital cannon?
No.
Okay.
Ah, that's slow. Right.
Have you changed your mic because it sounds a lot cleaner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds a lot cleaner.
Fuck off and stop picking on a level 2.
Facility atmosphere at critical.
And we can't work that center.
Yeah, unfortunately it draws a lot of negative attention towards you, but at the end of the day, you know, you're strong enough to handle it. A lot of these people with terminal illnesses, they don't. Yeah, like I met Granny Gamer, she was funny as fuck, mate. 70-year-old woman, you know, running around in GTA. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, absolutely hilarious, mate. And all she does is her races, you know, and dresses up her characters. That's all she does. And again, because she's publicly known, you know, she gets griefed a lot.
Someone's getting fucking phone sexed.
Well, this guy is extremely boring because he's so superior to everyone else with his fucking exploits. You really need to sort your mics out, eh? It's actually getting beyond the joke. It's like, you know, you can't do something as simple as fix a mic. And you're doing Bogdan far too much, where you're turning your mic up that loud just so that you can speak to each other. you know, if you sat there and, you know, waited until the stuff had finished, you know, you wouldn't be turning your mic up every time when you're doing the Bogdan. Yeah. Improve my behaviour. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, that will have. Yeah, that one last week, man.
Oh, that was last week. You alright?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm alright.
Okay.
And then get some time to have a look at the poster for you, okay?
Okay, Mum.
Alright, see ya.
Hey, Mum. Bye.
Bye.
Are you in the cutscene yet, Fizz?
All detainees must be
Right,
searched,
Fizz, you there?
tagged, and inventoried before interrogation.
Fizz. God, he's still like, holy shit, there's a fucking savage. Get that savage slut. Hey, Fizz, you in the cutscene yet?
Get bad
Not yet.
sport.
I was just talking to my mum.
Alright.
He thinks it's funny that he's abusing the report system. He thinks it's fucking hilarious, because he's just texted me that, you know, he's laughing his ass off, because I'm going to get a bad sport. And it's like, I'm still getting my good sport.
Really?
Yeah, I still because I'm not doing anything against the terms and conditions.
Exactly. I knew that.
Yeah, I'll come out, man.
Protocols S32 and N6 remain fully in place with no exceptions.
You kind of hurry up, Fizz. This thing is taking real darn good damage.
All communications are being monitored.
Alright, these guys need to stop taking on the trade.
What are you doing, Fizz? You should be in a cutscene by now.
Yeah.
I also did the time stuff.
Reminder, food and drink are prohibited in the server room. Mandatory polygraph testing has been moved to Tuesday.
Oh, I'm gonna get this gun's KD down. It's got a 461.7 KD.
The executive copy machine is off limits to any staff with less than R12 clearance.
Thanks, Stacy. Are you still on the same login?
Yeah. He's abusing me, and I'm collecting evidence for the death threats that I've been receiving through my channel.
What was he saying?
and I'm collecting evidence for the police for the multiple accounts that person is using, and also I'm collecting the screenshots of the messages he's sending to my friends using my identity.
Oh, is this Vicious?
Vicious, yeah. Well, that's my complaint. I have a police complaint against a player. Now the player is constantly harassing me and harassing me outside the game. So he's approaching me and
He's threatening your family.
he's literally made my child afraid to go on the PlayStation. Because no, it's not.
Stacey's what I like to call pathetic low-life loser.
Well, you know, I've tried to use the report system. The report system is broken because it is nothing but a vetting system, and I've spoken to PSN, and they're just giving me the same bullshit excuse that they can't do anything. Now they have a responsibility to cooperate with the police. So I have a police report that is in place, and I'm collecting evidence for my my police report, so I can finalise it and formalise it. Now, if you have a look at the top of the broadcast, there is a police reference number, so that the police can take it for evidence and use it in a criminal case. Now, every single person that is incriminating themselves on my broadcast, implicating themselves as part of this harassment. Now, I'm pretty damn sure that PSN and Rockstar will be notified about the police report that's been in place. Now, the evidence that's being collected, well, I'm pretty damn sure the evidence that is collected is going to be going to the desks that the people are responsible to making sure that I have a safe gaming environment to play in. Now, these people think that it is funny that there is no accountability for their actions. Now, I've been through the system. I've learnt from the police officers themselves and the judges and the lawyers, and I've been instructed by them, this is your due process. You must go through due process. Now, if you go through due process, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's like 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now, they will get caught. Now, you are throwing your life away for what? Some bullshit data on a video game because you think it's funny to bully and harass people that don't deserve it. Now, I don't deserve it. That's exactly it. Now, they are pretty much damaging people's mental health. Now, my mental health is stable enough.
What have you done to them that bad that has resort to them threatening you on the game and threatening your family?
I haven't done anything. All I've done is socialised with people. I've made friends with people, and I'm having fun. I'm having fun with, you know, my friends. Now, they do not like it because they don't have friends. Now, I don't know their personal situation. I don't know their mental health. But the authorities are the ones that are, you know, responsible for that, because they have made an oath to uphold the law. Now, these people are breaking the law. So once this goes past their desk, there has to be something done about it, because I've gone through due process.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you. Fizz, can you fly back so you go get my lunch?
Wait, Stacey.
Okay.
You might not believe me, but this is true. In where I live, like Redcliffe, which is like right next to Pizza,
Yeah.
the pigs don't do shit here. Because one time when we had this dickhead, he was next door, like had like vicious dogs that attacked my sister's dog, right?
It's because you're not going through due process. You're not going through due process. So they don't have to do anything, mate. They're just turning up to work just like anybody else. When they turn up to work, right, there is a file that lands on their desk. It is their responsibility to investigate that file, right? Even if it goes into a cold case, right, it is eventually investigated when new evidence comes to light. Now, you know, unfortunately, I can't play my video game because of these death threats. Now, by receiving these death threats, it's affecting my gameplay. Now, that is against the breach of the terms and conditions. That is a legal binding contract. Regardless if you think that you're anonymous, you are not. It is 2019. Yeah, no, go for it.
So, yeah, it's all about that. And then when I wanted to play with my mates across the road on holidays, he comes and calls me a fat fuck, and then I'm like, come here, you 40-year-old fucking bird. Well, I don't say you fucking bird, but I said, come here, fucking idiot. And then he was like, hey, get my dogs onto you. Went back in time. He was like, grows weed in his like, garage there. But yeah, he got kicked out of the house and went somewhere else and he put a fire in the backyard of his, threatening to burn the house down.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We
going...
had like security cameras and shit, so we had like evidence.
Yeah, no, security cameras cannot be used as evidence because the person being filmed has not been disclosed. It is not being disclosed to that person that they are being filmed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It cannot be used as evidence because there has been no disclosure. Now, if you've got written proof, right? Now, if you notify that person in writing, they have been notified that they are being recorded. Now that they have been notified that they are being recorded and it's been date stamped and it's been posted to their address, they have a disclosure. Now that disclosure informs them that they are being recorded. If they continue that criminal act, that video footage can be used as evidence. Now, say you rob a bank, right? Now, that evidence that is collected cannot be used, so what they do, they put that evidence publicly. Now, they ask for people, like they know exactly who the fuck did it. They know who's guilty of it, but they can't use that evidence. Now, what they need to do is to find someone to identify that person. Now, if you've got a person that can identify that person in video footage, they're fucked.
So this cunt's lag switching all over the map. What the
Fist,
fuck?
let the Avenger, because you're not flying properly. You got to think upwards, meant to have it outwards, so you can fly straight.
It's all good. Doing his work. Doesn't have much experience. To be honest, this is very dumb. Fuck, what the? Fuck?
Well, you can't blame him really, because these people have intimidated him too. And he's just pretty much staying within their rules, mate. Now, who the fuck are they to make rules? You know, who are they to intimidate you? You know, they have no right. They literally have no right to do that. Now, the only reason that they think they can get away with it is because the reporting system's broke.
Yeah.
Nice welcome, man.
Oh, my fucking leg's frozen. God damn it.
Detective's trying to get me, but he doesn't know that I'm fucking dodgy the rock.
Yeah, well, all I'm waiting for, like, he thinks it's funny. He actually thinks it's funny, but he doesn't realise that once my police investigation is commenced, you know, the police don't give a fuck about what he's doing. They're not his suspect. They're not their suspect. Their suspect is the person that's I'm receiving the death threats from. That's the person that they're concerned about, because that person is acting criminally. Now, this other person that thinks he's funny, doing his bullshit, is actually incriminating himself, because the PSN must cooperate with the police. So when the evidence has been collected, well, there's breaches of contract. Now, everybody that's in breach of contract is pretty much, you know, setting themselves up to have legal action, not from the police, but from Rockstar and PSN themselves.
Fuck! Yeah.
Well, the evidence is there, and the evidence gets passed on, and it goes through the correct channels. There's process and you know, also due course. You know, and all I'm doing is following my instruction. Now,
Yeah, which is good. That's what
well, which is to have the evidence of these breaches. Now, what that does, it means that the police time isn't being wasted. It is assisting in an investigation. Now, by assisting in the investigation, it comes to a close a lot quicker. Instead of taking 3 years, 4 years, you know, it happens very quick. And it happens that quick that the person sitting there dumbfounded, well, how did you find me? But,
I don't understand.
what's that?
Is that like, there was like this mystery that they were trying to solve, like 1980 or 19 something, where this like princess died, like someone, princess, I don't know, who passed away or like died, got murdered in a hotel, and they're trying to figure it out now. Why couldn't they figure it out back then? Why do they have to figure it out now when it was like 1980, 1990?
It goes into a cold case, and there's not enough evidence to prosecute. There's enough evidence to implicate, but not enough evidence to prosecute. Okay, now, you as a gamer, right, and not a person that's abusing the system, you have a responsibility to provide a safe environment for other gamers. Now, it's just sad and depressing that, you know, I've been put in this position. I don't want to be in this position. I just want to play my fucking video game, mate, with my friends. But I cannot play this video game with my friends because my friends are also being targeted. You know, they're being told that they're going to get raped. They're getting told that they're going to have their throats slit. You know, this type of behaviour is going on, and this type of behaviour isn't being accountable for because the report system is broken.
Well, there's this like 2 tons in our levels that, you know, we had one in Passage Sparks F2W. What are you doing?
Does anybody want to do boppers? Okay.
Oh.
IAA Practitioner of the Year will be announced next week.
I'm inviting me to the office. My name is Gangsta.
Social media usage is not acceptable in the facility unless it's an authorized honey trap.
Oh.
In the interests of security, personal property can be seized and destroyed at any time. Bioweapon containment area is currently in lockdown.
Uh-oh. I'm stuck.
I just realized my fucking mic muted. I feel so embarrassed. Hey, Stacey there.
Yeah, mate.
Do you have a hangar in the military base?
I do.
Could you please sub as CEO and invite me if possible, so I can get a jet?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
If you go to the edge of towards the yacht by the beachfront there, you'll see my personal vehicle spawn.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What do you want?
And also, laser.
A laser? Oh, you might as well just get one from the thing. Yeah.
Well,
And
you
also,
could get my
I
Hydra
hear
if
those
you want.
going ghost.
Well, that's
You
fine.
could get my Hydra if you want.
No, I like lasers better.
Yeah, all I want to do is play.
Sweet.
I just want to play my game with you guys, but I can't because I'm being singled out.
I'm gonna admit, Stacey, even though I've only known you for like maybe about a day and a half now, I'm gonna admit, for freaking like for your age, you're legit like one of the nicest people I've actually ever met.
Well, that's what targets me. What happens is you've got all these toxic people and all these hateful people, you know, that don't like the fact that I'm not just going to roll over and take it. Now, I'm very protective of my friends.
They can go and die in a fucking hole.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got friends and family that are vulnerable people. You know, now they rely on me to stand up for them.
Wow. I hit those is in the fucking military base.
Wait, are you on my session?
Yeah, I am. Hello, Mr. I hit
Let me
those.
invite you to my CEO.
Oi, can you please all become in the military base?
Yep.
Stacey, he's in the military base. He's in Ghost.
Oh, I can't hit him. Oh yeah, I can. Who is that?
That's if he's only God mode.
Well, if
I
he's
hit those.
yeah, no, he's in God mode, mate. There's nothing that can be done.
God, he still is. Little bitch.
Here, take this. Here's a quick way out. Fuck facility management. Invite to facility. And it just gets you out of his sights. It just stops him from being able to harass.
Oh, you little bitch.
Did you get the fast text?
Yeah, I got killed while I was trying to accept it.
No, that's alright.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm trying to go into my facility.
He legit went out of his
Because
way
what's happened is
You have to actually go to your facility. You don't accept the invite.
yeah.
I'm not accepting an invite.
Yeah, well, what's happened is these people are doing these glitches, right? Now they're damaging the server, and by them damaging the server, like I've been hacked right now.
No, I can take everyone out of the facility.
Yeah.
She's fucking weird ass.
Oh, freaking.
Can I
Basically done kind of fucking, I hit those, had to go ghost just to kill me on fucking ghost.
Anxiety.
Anxiety, there we go. Fuck.
I had the same problem too.
I'll just
Like,
move the
you
I
always say it,
one
but then
over.
there's just that one time where you just don't know how it's fucking pronounced. It's annoying.
You're dehydrating, so put your fluids up.
Oh, I already had
Well, what happens is, yeah, this lobby's broken. It's literally
fucking is.
broken. We are in a modded lobby, mate. He thinks it's fucking hilarious that he's actually ruining people's fun, and he thinks it's fucking hilarious.
I told him to get in a
Well, the saddest thing is too, Stacey, he legit had to go ghost, just legit go all the way down to your teammates just to kill me 3 times.
Oh yeah, he is.
You got to remember
And
these
he's in the fucking
these
jet.
people are doing
And
it.
Stacey is in jet.
Yeah, they can't play the game. Now what they do, they target those that can, because they want to take the fun out of it, so that you leave the game and they can continue with their abusive behaviour.
Have we all voted the kicker?
It's not going to work. The lobby is broken. Okay, the report system
And
is
also,
broken.
he's also in jet if you're an orbital cannon.
Yeah, well, as soon as he's in the jet, just orbital cannon,
Here he is.
and that there stops him from continually griefing players. So it's taking away his ability to pretty much abuse other people in the game. You know, he's agreed to terms and conditions to behave himself. He's misbehaving.
Fizz, he's coming towards you.
This isn't game chat.
That's fine. That's more than fine. Do not engage him. Do not engage him. You need to ignore him. Now I'm just disclosing my intention. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to antagonize. I'm not trying to harass. You know, all I'm trying to do is wait for this vicious piece of shit to throw me some more threats. You know, the last threat that I received from him was yesterday. Now he's placing his threats on my stream. He's watching my stream. So the more he clicks and watches my stream, it's making a digital signature. Right, that digital signature stands out amongst every other digital signature because it's.
And also, the more threats he sends you is going to be the freaking worse it is for him.
Well, he's just increasing his sentence, and
Well,
it becomes harder. It becomes harder for him to deny the allegations. Now, Fierce, you've got to stop being a sitting duck.
Well, he's in game chat.
Fizz is in game chat. See, if I'm not going to say it because the next minute is already on broadcast. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, well, again, you know, it's like you don't need. You got to understand, right? Now, when you are getting upset and frustrated, you're going to express yourself negatively. Now, it's not really your fault because you are being coached. You know, so if you're being coached, it means that you're not really responsible for your reaction. It's the person that's coaching you. It's like when you see a domestic violence case. You've got the victim being abused to the point where, you know, they can't get the help that they need, so they feel trapped. Now, they've got nothing left to lose except for their life. Now, they've been coached in such a way that they believe that their life doesn't have value, so in their mind, you know, their mental health isn't stable. Now, they're going to, you know, make sure that that person that's been doing that abuse to them is not going to get away with it. You know, they need retribution. They need justice to be served, mate. That's why we have this system in place. You know, to stop people going out and taking justice in their own hands. Now, you know, I've learnt just by, you know, being prosecuted, by being in those situations where You know, if I had placed a report in, you know, there's a paper trail. So when that allegation comes on that person's desk, there's a paper trail so that that person can investigate and see the true story. Now, when you're reacting negatively to these people, you're not placing the proper procedure, you're not following the proper procedure. What happens is you look like that you are their antagonizer, you look like that you are the aggressor. Even though that you're not, that's how they see it, because that person put a false report in against you. I had a incident with a parking warden. Now, the parking warden assaulted me. She was sitting there pushing me with her finger into my shoulder. Now, it actually hurt. It was physically painful. But because of the way I responded and the way I didn't follow procedure or protocol, you know, I was the one that was perceived to be the aggressor. So basically, I had to pay my abuser a $400 emotional harm payment. Now, it's extremely fucked, but justice is blind, mate. You know, that's just the unfortunate situation of it. Now, that's why you have people like the police. Now, you know, they can't get concerned with your mental health. They can't get concerned with anything that's happening in your life, because that's not their job. You know, they're turning up, they're collecting a wage, they have a CV. Now, they have to do their job, what they've signed a contract for. Now, they've got an oath, and they've got to uphold that oath, you know, because it's part of their legal responsibility. You don't. You just have to comply within your citizens' responsibilities. So if you've got a crime, if you witness a crime, it is your responsibility to report it. As a citizen of that country, you have to. You know, you can't ignore a crime. You're not allowed to, because you don't have that deniability. Oh, I didn't know. You know what I mean? It's like, I didn't know, and naivety only goes so far. Because it's like, you can't sit there and go, oh, I didn't know that child abuse was wrong. I didn't know that murder was wrong. It's like, you know these things because of social standards. Now, you're held at a social standard. Now, if you're not meeting those social standards, well, you need to be removed from society, because you're not functioning in society. Now, if you're not functioning in society, you've got the mental health and you've got the criminal justice system. Now, the criminal justice system takes away and removes those antisocial people from society, so they're not affecting the law-abiding citizens. Now, a law-abiding citizen is enrolled. They go to court. They do their jury duties. You know, you have a duty as a citizen. Now, if you see a crime, you have a responsibility to report it. Now, you know, I've tried to report the abuse that I've received. Like, I've ignored a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff that... But there's a certain point. There's a certain point where you cross the line, and it's no longer a civil liability or a civil case. It becomes a criminal liability, and it becomes a criminal case. You know, it's like me being a chef. If someone dies from food poisoning, and I've got a qualification that puts me in a position of responsibility, I'm actually liable for manslaughter. I can't sit there and say that my employer told me to do it. I can't sit there and say I didn't know. I don't have that that luxury. Because I know, I'm responsible. Do you know what I mean? I'm responsible to do something about it. That's how it works. You know, say you know there's a domestic violence next door. You're not allowed to ignore that. You have to do something about it. You know, because if you don't, you're pretty much just as guilty, because you didn't do anything about it. Now, this is what these people rely on. They rely on intimidation and fear. They feed off it. Now, they're toxic people. Now, unfortunately, in the system, you know, you got the same type of people, but it's not their fault. You know, when they first join the system, or they first get involved with the system, they think that they're doing it for the greater good. Now, eventually, what happens is they find out that, you know, it's not always the innocent that don't get prosecuted. You know, they're fucking totally aware of it. That's why they're given discretion. You know, because they're still people. Now, certain people have to deal with certain situations over and over and over and over and over again. So they're just people, mate. You know, and you get to a point where you become biased. It's like gender bias. You know, whenever the police turn up into a situation, the aggressor is always viewed as the male. The man is always, you know, classed as the aggressor, even though, you know, it's 50-50. You know, there's just as many women abusing men as men abusing women, but the problem is men don't report it. You know, they let it go by. You know, it's not shown as masculine to report an assault against a woman. You know, it's like, you know, suck it up, buttercup type. It's wrong. If a female strikes you or a female assaults you, you have the right to place a complaint. Now, if you don't place that complaint and that abuse continues, you are being coached to respond negatively. So you get to the end of your frustration and you do something that you regret. Now, you're fucked, mate. You're fucked straight from the bat, because there is no paper trail. You've got to make sure you create that paper trail, and if you create that paper trail, you're covering your ass. You know, and you've got to remember, it's like when I'm using crass language or I'm using unacceptable language, the person that I'm talking to isn't taking offence. The person isn't getting upset. So there is no foul. You know what I mean? There is no crime. But if that person takes offence to that, well, there's a crime that's been committed.
Yeah.
I think little Mr. I hit those a little bit sad because he can't kill me.
Well, it will go across PlayStation's desk, but you know, my case of the death threats is more important than somebody breaching conditions. But again, that evidence will be passed down the chain of command. It's just what happens, because, you know, there's been a breach. Now, they've got a responsibility to uphold the law. Now, unfortunately, businesses and business entities have more rights than a person.
Yeah.
You know, you look at, there's a mountain in my country, Mount Ruapehu. You know, that there is pretty much classed as a person that has rights. It's a fucking mountain, mate, for fuck's sake. It has more rights than a person, and it's just a mountain. But that's unfortunately where you've got broken parts in the system. Now they can't change it, you know, because there's been a precedent set. Once a precedent has been set, then it creates new allegations. That's why it's really important to, for these judges to stop any precedences being set, because once a case has been passed, you know, there's your precedents. That's what you can go back on. And these idiots don't actually realise what they're doing. They're actually in criminal activity. Because it's like, you are not allowed to contact people outside the game, you know, without it being reciprocal. Now, if you join my party, right, and I sit there, you know, can you please leave, and you do not leave, you are invading my privacy. Well, they continue to do it. because what's happening is there's no recourse. There's no responsibility being held because the report system that's in place gets so many reports that it's overwhelmed. So they go through a vetting process. Now, eventually that vetting process will line you up with someone on the other end of that phone. The classic example is monetizing your YouTube. The amount of vetting that you go through to actually get to a person is ridiculous. You could spend a year going through their stupid websites before you even come in contact with someone.
Hey, Saints, do companies go silly, right? Because here's I hate those guys stalking the fuck out of me.
Yeah, go for it. It doesn't matter. It's like, you don't have to ask, mate. You have just as much right as I do, and I don't have any right to sit there and say, well, that person's not allowed to join. If that person's your friend, well, it's your friend. It's just that they need to be aware that they are being recorded.
No, what I was saying was, can I get a facility invite?
Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted me to, have someone join the party.
No, because I'm on a facility invite because this dumbass
Yeah, no.
is just stalking me.
Yeah. But again, he's not allowed to do that, mate. But yeah, if everybody reports to Kick, then that means he leaves the lobby. If he leaves the lobby, he's got to go through that whole glitch process again. And by him doing that glitch process, that's how they actually catch him out, because there's been a report against that activity. Now at the moment he's engaging in that activity. Now you never get caught while you're engaging in an activity. You always get caught after the fact. You don't get caught murdering someone. You know what I mean? It's like you get caught after that person's been murdered. That's why you have certain protocol in place.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have a judge. A judge sits there and views the case to see if there's grounds. And one of the grounds is you just being a male versus female. Straight away, there's grounds.
Yeah.
And a lot of it just comes down to the abuse that females do to men, and they're not accountable for.
Exactly.
Well, you look at how many fathers out there don't have contact with their children just because, the female is being malicious and nasty. And any contact that he does have with them is so restricted that if he steps outside that restriction, the police don't want to arrest him, but he's broken a court order, so they have to. They disagree with it, but again, they can't do anything about it. They have to do their job, and that is what their job is. They don't want to be driving around writing out speeding tickets. That's not what they're there for. But again, that's the majority of their job, because that's where the most breaches are happening.
Yeah.
But again, you do not tolerate bullying. You do not have to tolerate bullying. And if you leave that situation and that person follows you, well, that's harassment, and that shouldn't be tolerated.
Do you want to join any of the STFU crews lobby?
Well, you're just pretty much going to make abusive leave that his friends. Do you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't want to be involved in their bullshit, in their childish bullshit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna freaking jump off a bit, so I'll speak to you guys soon.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
You too.
What are you doing right now, AC? You still in the same section?
Well, I was actually hoping that fucking Vicious would come back on and incriminate himself further.
Oh.
Well, you know, I don't know how much of my previous broadcast he's on. But, you know, the last couple, they've definitely been saved and the abuse has been recorded. But in saying that, it doesn't matter if it's been removed from YouTube, it can still be collected. It doesn't go anywhere, you know what I mean?
Screenshots of the chat on your phone.
What's that?
You can take screenshots of the chat on your phone.
Oh, I don't know how to do any of that, mate. I literally don't know.
Do you want me to tell you? It's pretty simple though.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so you know, trying to orientate through all that, it's just far too confusing.
Yeah.
And
it's not real confusing. Right, so what phone do you have? A Samsung?
no, I've just got a fucking silly generic my provider's phone.
Okay, well, do you have a home button?
No, I don't. I don't have a smartphone. It's not a smartphone. It's just a general generic phone. You know, under $100. Well, it cost me $150 or $160, but.
What you wanna do is when he's abusing you and shit, you wanna go into the messages on your phone where like the stream is up and like you see all the messages and the gameplay and stuff on YouTube, right?
Hmm.
And what you want to do, you want to put your thumb on the turn off button and your other thumb on the volume button, on the top volume button. What you want to do, you want to press that at the same time and it will screenshot what he is saying to you and it'll show you, and that's better because then you can get your phone and show the police, look, this is what he's been saying. And you get all of it that he's been saying.
Well, I've got the original. So you know, I've got it all in. You know, there's a data transfer. So as soon as that data's been transferred, there's a digital signature.
Or I could do this. I could take a screenshot of it on my phone and send it to you through Facebook, so you get like the things. If like it doesn't work on streaming or something.
Mate, I find it difficult to follow the instructions that fucking PSN send me by an email.
Yeah.
You know, it couldn't be any fucking clearer, but again, it's like I'm dyslexic, so I'm more of a practical person than a theoretical person.
By the way, the police won't be able to see, like, will you be showing them the broadcast?
Well, no, there's the evidence number on the broadcast, so you know there's the police reference there, so it can be used for evidence, and it makes their job easier.
Yeah. So tell me when you start abusing me, and I'll take a screenshot and I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Yeah, that's good. Because if you send it on Facebook, then it's like. Facebook is only designed for police investigation. It's just a vetting process to weed out the antisocial in society, because you know you're sitting there sharing everything. You know, you're sharing your thoughts, everything, mate. So there's a profiling system. You know, so they profile everything there is. Now the problem that I have, you know, I'm an honest person, so I'm sitting there and it's like if I see something that, you know, is kind of stupid, I'm going to say something about it. So I get blocked a lot because I don't follow political norms. You know, it's like I see gay pride and it's like, well, I don't see any pride in painting yourself up as a unicorn and then gluing dildos all over you. How is that being proud? That's definitely not being proud. That's just degrading. You know, and I really want to see my children witnessing some guy wearing dildos all over himself in public at a Christmas fair, Now, to me, that's indecent exposure. To me, that is indecency, full stop. But because of the, you know, sexual preference laws, where, you know, you can express yourself, well, he gets to express himself and he's not held accountable because, you know, there's too much fear around prosecuting someone that's gay. Because then they can sit there and say, oh, it's sexual discrimination. It's got nothing to do with sexual discrimination. It's got to do with the fact that there is children witnessing that type of behaviour.
Yeah, well, just tell me when he's abusing, I'll just take a screenshot and I'll send it through Messenger on me on Facebook.
Yeah.
You have Messenger, I think. If you have Messenger, I can send it to you on Facebook, and then I could go like send it on the thing. This is what people are doing instead of abusing people, bullying people, and it's not right. This needs to stop.
Well, you know how he sent you that message. You need to report that.
Yeah.
Did you report that for harassment of your friend?
Yeah, that could have gone back later and successful.
Well, anything that he's sending you, he's sending from a multiple account. Do you know what I mean? So it's not attached to his original account. So you need to report it as safety as a friend.
Mate, that account just to put that name.
Just to do that. Now he thinks that the anonymity of it isn't going to implicate him, but he's already implicated because he's used my name. He's sat there on that message and said that he was me. Now you're in the party with me, you're speaking to me, and he continued to try and make you believe that he was someone he's not. That's fraudulent, and that is also in breach of the terms and conditions. Now he currently thinks he's getting away with it because the report system's broke.
Funny thing is that he's like really dumb. Like, couldn't he see your broadcast and see that I was in a party with you?
Well, he's retarded. Because that's the one. Well, Facebook and YouTube. I haven't figured out how to block them on YouTube yet. So.
Do you want me to tell you?
Well, I can't. I must be in front of a laptop. I have to go to a laptop, and I currently don't have access to a laptop. So without access to the laptop, it's not a smartphone. Yeah. So the options aren't there. I don't have the options. I've even been told by my application that I need to go to a laptop to do certain functions, and the functions that I need. I can't use because I need a laptop to use those functions.
Well, I know with the phone that you have for sure. You can kick him out of your stream and he's not, like, you can disable him.
I can't do that. I can't. I don't even know how to get to messages. Like, doing the message stuff. Like, if you orbital cannon him, and I get that strike team on it, there's actual visual. Do you know what I mean? It's like the other stuff, it's like from a down drop. So you can only get a certain perspective. Now, by actually setting a strike team on him, you can actually physically see that, he jumped from a fucking jet at 4,000 feet, man, and landed on the pavement and didn't even bounce.
Yeah, well, you know what I can do?
What?
So I blocked him, right? So I blocked him on YouTube, right? So if I get in the stream before he does, then he can't message or anything to someone who's blocked him.
Well, I thought because you're you could join the stream and that will boot him from the stream anyway.
Oh no, but like say
it stops you from joining because it says there's somebody there that you've been blocked. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll get join before he joins, and then he won't be able to talk or do anything and get pissed. Be funny. But yeah. Yeah. To be honest, there's no one on. To be honest.
Yeah,
Really
because
anyone
they
knows.
don't want to play because of the harassment that they're receiving, the threats that they're receiving.
Yeah. Send out our hand and invite the party. Well, these days, this game's starting to get boring because everyone's fucking glitching and shit. And like, it's no fun. People glitching. Well, it is fun because like it is good to come and go up against them. You know, they're
Well,
glitching and it's
it's fun to expose their behaviour.
yeah.
Because it's like a lot of people on here don't have the time.
Exactly.
Now, I don't drink. I don't smoke, you know, my pot anymore. Hey, Bubble. We've sorted out the way for you to remove that dunce cat. So once you're out, we can deal with that. We've got that sorted. We've got that locked down. So yeah, don't panic about the silly paper hat.
Yeah.
Are you going to broadcast iHome? 4 to 5 hours, yes. Yeah. No, 4 to 5 hours left in bed sport. It's so exciting. She's got 4 to 5 hours left in bed sport. Well, I'm about to leave and I'm going to go join iHoon's broadcast so I can keep her company in her game. Now, if you've got any character or know of anybody with a character in Bad Sport, if you jump in there and have a bit of a jam with her.
Stacey, my level 4 account in Bad Sport, I got in Bad Sport like the other day when you went on the afternoon.
What do you mean? Your what?
My temp, my ex, smiley face, don't smiley face ex.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to stop in that type of behaviour because you're pretty much being a hypocrite and you're engaging in the same type of behaviour that they are. Now you need to stop that, you know, because all it is reflecting on yourself. You know what I mean? And you don't want to taint yourself with the same brush because you're not you're not a bad person. But by engaging in their behaviour and engaging in the same type of behaviour, well, you know, at the moment, you know, you're not them. But after a while, it only takes a little bit, and 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 all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where it's like, wow, I've become a person that I don't like. But then it's too late.
Yeah, well, I could give a company, but I'll only do it for
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. If you can get into that bad sport with one of your characters or you know whatever, and that would be really awesome because you know she's got actually someone to physically play with inside there. You know, and that's the thing. She's been separated from the group when you know she hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone's in, so we can commend her or something like that.
Well, as soon as she gets in here, we'll just keep on commending her for being friendly and helpful.
Yeah.
And that will knock off that fucking silly hat, and it will make her a clean player again. You know, and I'm really bored with this person in God mode. He's just a fucking idiot. He's just, you know, but currently he's not going around fucking everybody else's shit up because he's watching over his shoulder going, well, is the guy still here? Is he going to orbital me as soon as he gets in that jet? The only thing that's really stopped me leaving this lobby is because he's aware that any type of behaviour he's engaging in is being recorded.
I heard later once you come out of backfoot and we can then get the dumb stuff off you. God, if you could like show me some of the sweaty outfits.
Yeah, it just doesn't work with the silly paper hat, mate. Did you get the message?
Me?
Yeah, did you read the message?
No, I'm not like this.
Oh, okay, she said she'll try.
Oh. Anxiety,
I think Anxiety left earlier. He's doing Bogdan with... Yeah, but he's doing Bogdan. Be right back for coffee. Yeah, she's going to get coffee, mate.
I'm doing Bogdan with anxiety, but I don't know what he's going to do.
He'll be back. He won't leave you hanging.
Oh no, I'm just going to start moving.
You know, and that's where we're fortunate, mate. That's where we're very fortunate. You know, we've met people that we can actually play the game. You know, and people that actually help us play the game. You know, and also, you know, it's a group of people that are witnessing this type of behaviour.
Yeah.
You know, some of the people that have witnessed this type of behaviour have been intimidated by it and they've left. You know, just because they don't want to become a victim themselves. Now, you know, that just goes to show that, you know, it's not that they agree with the behaviour, but the intimidation works. And this is what these type of people rely on, that, you know, they are intimidating other gamers. You know, not other people that are cheating, but other people that are legitimately wanting to play a game with their friends. You know, it's entertainment, it's you know, it's recreation. You know, so these people are invading my privacy by disrupting my recreation. Well, I'm just being singled out is because the simple fact is, it's like, I don't care. It's a video game. I really don't give a shit. It's a video game. You know, I don't want to play with someone that can't play the game. I just want to play with my friends and have some fun.
Cheats.
Well, they want to cheat and they want to ruin my fun. Now, when they're following me around the PlayStation Network to join my games, to destroy my fun, that's when it starts to get a bit ridiculous. That's when I put my report into PlayStation. Now, PlayStation can't do anything about it because they're using multiple accounts. I can only report the account that they're doing it from. But if I don't know which account they're getting in on, because what they're doing, they're using the account that I've blocked, and they're getting in on the same games as me. You know, because they're using a fake profile that's on my friends list somewhere to join and do what they need to do to harass. And that's where they think that they're funny, because they can continue that harassment, and I think there's nothing that I can do to protect myself.
Tennis to get the achievement.
You can do.
It's just I don't think anyone else will play.
Well, I desperately need some money.
Well,
So
how
when
much money are you sending me now?
53, so I've got about 100 Bogdans that I need to run.
Yeah. So,
Anxiety. Isn't he? Where is he? Is he offline? Is he online? What's go?
No, he's in the party, but like I've invited him like a couple of times.
Oh, he's probably AFK. Probably AFK, bro. I'm gonna have to try later because this little silly prick is joining my broadcast and he's not saying anything.
Really?
Nah, I don't know if he's viewing anonymously or if he's not viewing. It's like you don't know, because it's like you can have 0, you know, people up there, but it doesn't register if they're showing up anonymous. Yeah.
Well, I got 4 mil, so I'm on my way to 20 mil.
Nice.
What happened to my Bogdan?
He's waiting to run it for you. There it goes, right there.
Oh, yeah. Shit, okay.
Oh, he's in some sort of yellow car.
How much money are you on right now, buddy?
I got like nothing, like probably 10 grand.
Yeah. Gets kind of expensive.
Like 4 mil, and that's like very, very, very poor.
Well, considering I'm going to spend that in the next 2 days.
Yeah. Bro, this music's so weird. But what could be a thing that's really fun to do in GTA?
Heists, I love them. I reckon it's so much fun. They are so much fun.
I think I'm also watching them right now.
Remember to encrypt all offsite secure data channels with the updated X15 algorithm.
What is that called? Body.
Trophy truck.
Oh.
IAA departmental softball is held every second weekend.
Just keep on going.
Can't believe it's holidays already. It's not so fun.
The older you get, the quicker it goes, man. You get to a certain age where a fucking year seems like a week. No, it gets really bad, mate. It gets really bad. The older you get, the faster it goes. Dangy, it just feels like a day's eternity. Hey Sephiroth, just be aware that you're on a broadcast and it's collecting evidence for the police. Well, like the disclaimer says, the honest have nothing to fear, and I don't know who you are. You're an anonymous person, I am a public person, so, you know, you can hide behind your anonymity, and I don't know if you're one of these people that are sending me death threats. So the reason I have this broadcast is to record the death threats that I'm receiving. Now, anybody that's implicating them in breaches of terms and conditions, well, it's not just a police criminal liability matter that's at stake, it's also the breach of conditions that are being witnessed while I'm broadcasting. So again, PSN is responsible to follow up on any breaches of conditions. So if you're not breaching conditions, mate, you know, you're sitting there telling me you haven't done anything, that's fine, mate, but welcome to the broadcast. You know, if you think it's amusing to grief, and if you think it's amusing to harass other gamers, oh, I didn't know, darling. I did not know that, darling. But no, you're fine. You know, you're one of the victims of this harassment. You know. I know that. I know. You know, your gameplay is being disrupted by the same people. But again, you know, this person here is breaching his terms and conditions by harassment. He thinks he's funny. Yeah, I know, it's dumb. Are you running your broadcast? Because I'll come join your broadcast and keep you company on it. And you've also got Isaac that's going to come in and join you and keep you company as well. So yeah, I'll jump in with you. Well, you've got 5 hours left, 4 hours left, so you might as well do something and get that time done so you can jump in here with us. And once you jump in here with us, we can get rid of that silly dunce cat that's on your head. Yeah, totally. I'm not going to leave anybody behind. Are you joking? You know, they've sat there and they've victimised you. They've been sitting there, you know, sending you disgusting, vile communication. You know, they've harassed the shit out of you, and they've entrapped you in a situation where they've abused the reporting system to have your account, you know, stuck in a bad spot. That's unfair. You know, so fuck them all. If they want to sit there and be arseholes, they can be arseholes. But again, it's been recorded. You know, my main suspect hasn't joined the broadcast today. But I know he's watched, and I know that he's checked in, and just by him checking in, fuck mate, it's enough.
How do you keep going? Oh, YouTubers, stop spectating. Please stop.